A wise person does not race the sun, but rises with it, trusting that each day carries enough to strengthen their character. Seneca, you're exhausted, not just physically, but in a deeper way. A weariness that doesn't go away with a good night's sleep. You've been running toward tomorrow before today has had the chance to teach you its lessons, chasing achievements like a starving man chases bread. Always moving, always striving, believing the faster you run, the stronger you'll become. Believing the hustle is what makes you honorable, that speed is somehow the proof of your purpose. But this endless race, this constant pace, feels like it's taking more than it's giving, doesn't it? Here's what Seneca knew, a truth ancient, yet always relevant. The sun doesn't rush. It doesn't rise frantically, clawing at the horizon. Instead, it climbs with deliberate power, painting the sky in its own time. In the stillness of its rhythm, it transforms darkness into light, not with chaotic energy, but with an inevitable, quiet presence. And here's the thing, you work the same way. Your character, your growth, the very core of who you are, is not forged by frantic motion. Every morning, as the sun rises, you're handed a choice, one that will define the trajectory of your life. Will you race ahead of your own development, rushing to achieve what your soul isn't yet ready to carry? Or will you rise with the measured, natural rhythm of becoming who you're meant to be? The modern world sells you a lie. It whispers, faster is better. Faster cars, quicker results, instant everything. Swipe, click, repeat. We've built a culture obsessed with acceleration, a race to nowhere that leaves even the victors feeling hollow. But character, real, enduring character, it doesn't download overnight. You can't microwave depth, and you can't shortcut wisdom. These things must be earned, forged in the furnace of daily discipline. Seneca understood this. When he wrote his letters to Lucilius, they weren't grand proclamations meant for fame. These were notes of daily nourishment for the soul, small reminders to live well one moment, one choice at a time. For Seneca, each morning offered a new opportunity. Not because he was behind schedule or trying to catch up, but because he understood that wisdom, like morning dew, accumulates slowly, drop by drop, day by day. Consider Marcus Aurelius. His meditations weren't written to impress the world. They were a private dialogue, entries meant to ground him, to remind him that patience would lead to greater strength than pressure ever could. He didn't race toward enlightenment, didn't treat growth as a destination to reach ahead of schedule. Instead, every day, he met the dawn as a humble student, open to the lessons that would shape him. Challenges in the present taught him what he would need for victories in the future. Imagine that, the Emperor of Rome, the most powerful man alive, choosing patience over pressure. Because true strength, it isn't measured in speed, it's measured in sustainability. The oak tree doesn't look at the bamboo and envy its rapid growth. It doesn't stretch itself thin to compete. Instead, it focuses on its roots, spreading them deep and wide, strong enough to weather the fiercest storms. The bamboo may grow faster, but it snaps where the oak stands firm. Your character is that oak. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, every time you say no to short-term ease for long-term strength, you're not just making a single decision, you're laying the foundation for the person you're becoming. And every morning, you rise with purpose instead of with panic. You align yourself with forces far greater than your fleeting impatience. The sun teaches us this timeless truth. It doesn't apologize for its pace. It doesn't chase acknowledgement or validation. It simply shows up, consistently, faithfully, transforming everything it touches with the incomparable power of reliable presence. And that is your invitation today, right now, to stop racing. Not because you lack ambition, not because you're giving up, but because you've arrived at a deeper understanding. The man who tries to outrun his own development always arrives empty-handed. He gets to his destination, yes, but only to realize he's still not ready, still not the person capable of bearing the weight of what he's achieved. You've seen this story before, haven't you? The lottery winner who loses everything within years, the overnight success who crumbles under the pressure of their fame, the executive fast-tracked to the top, but utterly unequipped to lead. They all share one thing in common. They raced the sun and arrived in darkness. But the wise man, he rises with the sun. He understands that each day unfolds with exactly what he needs. Not always what he wants, but always what his character requires to grow. The difficult conversation that teaches courage, the setback that builds resilience, the victory that tests humility. Every moment a tool, every experience an opportunity. Seneca called these moments preferred indifference. External circumstances we cannot control, but that, with the right mindset, we can always use to shape ourselves for the better. The wise man doesn't race toward ideal circumstances, nor does he run from challenging ones. He rises to meet whatever comes, not with panic or perfectionism, but with presence, with purpose, with the quiet, unshakable confidence of someone who trusts the process of becoming far more than the illusion of speed. This mindset, if you choose to adopt it, transforms everything. Your career becomes a laboratory for virtue rather than a sprint toward status. Your relationships deepen, no longer overshadowed by the pressure to chase the next connection. Life becomes less about sprinting forward and more about standing firmly, becoming grounded in the person you're meant to be. So rise with the sun. Let go of the frantic race and embrace the steady rhythm of growth. Not because ambition has no place in your heart, but because you understand this. If you try to outrun your own becoming, you'll arrive empty-handed. The greatest tragedy is not failing to reach the finish line, but reaching it before the person you've become has the strength to hold it. You've seen the cost of rushing, and you know the rewards of patience. The sun doesn't hurry, and yet it transforms the world in its own time. It shows us that true mastery isn't found in forcing outcomes, but in showing up, day after steady day. This is your invitation, to stop chasing, to trust the pace of your own development. Because when you rise with the sun, when you root yourself in purpose and presence, you align with a force greater than impatience. You align with the ancient, unshakable rhythm of becoming. And your character? It depends on nothing less